Let's go ride a bike in Sonoma Valley. Hey, if you come to Sonoma Valley and you want to have a great experience, yes, people come here and they walk around, very walkable downtown Sonoma, lovely spot. Little villages we have here. We also have great hiking. You can go up in the hills and stuff like that. If you want to take a tour, we've got buses and vans and limos and hot air balloons and motorcycles. But you know what's really fun? What's really fun is getting on a bicycle and discovering some of the freedom for yourself. Because on a bike, you're kind of weird. Like, you've got the ability, like you are when you're walking, to run into things and see interesting things and stop and look around, but a little bit faster, a little bit less exertion, and really fun. I always feel the wind in my long hair blowing on my bike, and it just feels so good, and just waves behind me, almost like Fabio in a romance novel. And for that, I have a very special guest. Now, I know every week I say I have a very special guest, but this one I do actually mean it. I have a very special guest that specializes in bicycles that go throughout Sonoma Valley, and they're beautiful and they're wonderful. Today, I have Jeremy Noland with Vine and Vista Tours. Hi, Jeremy. How are you doing?
Tim, it's really good to see you again.
Thank you. And I'm sorry my hair is so long and luxurious. It's putting you to shame. I apologize.
Very Fabio. Very
Thank
Fabio.
You. It's absolutely Fabio. It was funny. I do have photos of you from high school and college. I had like shoulder length hair. My kids do not believe me at all. I had, the wispy beard and the long hair.
I had the long, surfer hair too.
Did you really?
And,
that's fantastic.
Unfortunately, there are photos that are still out there.
I know. It's funny when you see them at one time, you kind of cringe, and then you go back and you're even older. You're like, memories. That's where it was.
Or thank God those memories are gone.
Yeah, well, they slowly fade away, don't they? That's what it is. So, Jeremy, you're with a company called Vine and Vista Tours. Give me the quick headline. What is a Vine and Vista Tour?
Yeah, you bet. So it's an e-bike company that my partner Francesca and I started, and basically it's a way to just expose people to the beauty of Sonoma Valley and Kenwood in particular.
I love that. And Kenwood's people. We've had actually the Kenwood Renaissance on this podcast. I've had Ari from Stella. I had Hamilton Family Wines on here.
Yeah,
I've had Nick from Muscardini Cellars, and there's really a lot going on in Kenwood right now.
Really is. It's exciting.
Yeah. I mean, you guys, it's funny, the people in that Kenwood, the downtown Kenwood, are putting those large metal sculptures on the side of Highway 12. There's like a elephant wearing a disco ball today, I think, by the coffee shop.
Yep. And, they're doing all kinds of things to try to slow the traffic down a little bit, including scaring them. With animals.
Well, that absolutely works. If people, you take them out of their comfort zone, they're going to slow down, and they're like, I should go explore Kenwood and go get a sandwich at VJB or something.
Absolutely. In all seriousness, though, that is something that we're really encouraging because there are a lot of businesses, individuals that you've interviewed that are in Kenwood, and it's really amazing how eclectic a lot of the businesses are, but how notable they are. I mean, we live super close to Michelin star rated restaurants now, and certainly the wineries in the area are beautiful too.
Absolutely. Jimmy, did you grow up in Kenwood?
I did not. I've been in Kenwood a little under a decade.
Okay.
Previous to that, I was in the East Bay.
Oh, really?
But I actually hail from Montana. So.
Oh, really?
Even though I've been in California for 30 years, I still call myself a Montanan.
A Montanan at heart?
That's right.
What part of Montana are you?
A Whitefish up in the northwestern corner.
Is that like the super cold, snowy part?
I don't know. It's been pretty cold here lately.
Hey, it's a tourism podcast. We don't
sorry.
It's sunny and beautiful. Yeah. Okay, let's talk. It's funny because this morning, if you look up, there's a little bit of snow on the hills.
Really, really remarkable.
Yeah, but what's funny is at the same time, there's still yellow flowers in the vineyards. Yeah. And there's the trees are starting to bloom, so it looks like one of those old, labels from California from the 1930s,
right?
Like the oranges in the front and the mountains in the back. But yeah, I think up at Sugarloaf area, there's some snow, and Mount St. Helena, there's some snow. It's beautiful.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's stunning. Tulips in our front yard don't like it too much, but
they're hardy. They're Dutch.
That's right.
They're
They'll come
Dutch.
back.
So there's two things that you guys are doing that are kind of Dutch: tulips and bicycles.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about your tour, Vine and Vista Tours. What do you guys do?
So I wouldn't consider ourselves a traditional e-bike company.
Okay.
I think everybody knows what an e-bike is, and nowadays, the technology is so advanced. I mean, you can do 100 miles on one battery.
It's amazing.
And our bikes are state of the art. We call them premium,
right.
Bikes. But really, we started the bike to really capitalize on the area and how beautiful it is, as I mentioned before. But more importantly, when I was a kid, I used to blame everything on the dog.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, it truly is the dog's
Oh, really? The
fault.
dog's fault that you're doing this?
That we're doing this.
Why is that?
So our dog, our chief adventure officer is what we like to call her. She was the reason behind why we started it.
Really?
And
What's your dog's name?
Enza.
Enza.
Not to be confused with Enzo Ferrari, but
Right. It's Enza, Enza.
yeah.
And what kind of dog is Enza?
And she's a silver Labrador.
So, and I think I might have a photo of Enza. I'll hold it up here.
She is
camera.
the matriarch of our logo. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's right up there. What I like about Enza, and you said a silver Labrador.
Silver Labrador.
I know there's golden labs and black labs and is it brown labs? Chocolate labs.
Chocolate lab variation.
Labradoodles.
Not a Labradoodle.
But is Labradoodle it's still a lab, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but so a silver lab.
It's half a lab. It's kind of like drinking a cab, only half a cab.
Half a cab. The cab lab. So you got the silver lab
Right.
named Enza. And was Enza like, hey, I'm sick of taking walks everywhere, but I want to get there faster, guys. Like, why did Enza make you do an e-bike company?
You know her well.
Really?
Yeah. So Enza is, we wanted to really bring her on our travels,
Okay.
and Francesca and I do travel quite a bit.
Okay.
And so this was an opportunity for us to include Enza, on some of these travels.
Oh, I love this. Okay.
And so Francesca started looking into things. We hail from, corporate backgrounds.
Okay.
She comes from a marketing and strategy background. I come from a construction background.
Okay.
And we're always leaving. We're always going somewhere, internationally or what have you. And so we kind of sat down one day and said, what's going to keep us home, and enjoy this environment that we're in. And then furthermore, what's going to be, fun for us to do with our fur baby.
Yeah,
Enza.
I like that.
And so she came up with some really interesting ideas. And so it evolved into this
E-bike tour company.
Yeah.
Did you ever take Enza traveling with you, like in an RV, or like do you put Enza up for boarding, which costs like the same as a hotel now?
We try not to because of that. Yeah, we try not to.
Man, yeah.
It is. We have some great relationships, with one of the local boarding companies, outside of Kenwood. But all things considered, we want her to enjoy the trip as much as we want to enjoy the trip.
Right. So you got these bikes, and so it says Enza approved, but I think what we should point out is it also fits Enza somehow on the bike. Explain that. How does that work?
It's been fun. So some of our bikes are equipped with sidecars.
Okay.
That's kind of our unique shtick, if you will.
Yeah.
And the bikes themselves kind of look like the old retro Harleys from the World War II.
They do. Was it the greatest like Steve McQueen movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
when I'm riding the bike, you can call me Steve if you want.
people are like, I thought I saw Steve McQueen.
Right. No, but the bikes are equipped so that they can handle large dogs. In fact, we had some customers not too long ago that brought their it was a Doberman.
Really?
And the Doberman was about 100 pounds.
Yeah.
So a very large dog, and it fit.
In this little neat sidecar, which does look just like a motorcycle sidecar.
Yeah.
And the dog, how does it get in there?
So we have kind of a rear access door
Oh, it
that
opens
folds
up.
down.
Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense.
And I'm glad you brought that up because, let's face it, we don't want people to have to lift their 100-pound,
I mean,
fur baby, into a sidecar.
hold on. Brought to you by the American Chiropractors Association.
Exactly. Yeah.
Lift your dog carefully.
Exactly.
So yeah, because you're going to hurt your back.
Yeah.
And that's no fun. That's not a good way to have vacation.
Yeah. Suffice it to say, too, though, we have smaller carriers, that hold, smaller animals.
Oh, right, because you don't want to throw around your little 8-pound
Absolutely.
doohickey and it'll be bouncing around.
And so we have this custom, I guess, pack, if you will,
Okay.
that actually snaps into the back of the bike. And so it's
That's amazing.
completely open, and they can breathe.
Okay. And then let me guess, I'm assuming you also don't have to have a dog to rent one of these bikes.
Absolutely.
But whether you have a dog or not, what's the experience? Where do you guys go?
So, as you know, Kenwood, Sonoma Valley in general, we have so many different things to see. And I think that's what kind of makes this, less of your traditional tour company because we curate, certain places for people to go. Obviously, safety is of paramount concern when you're on a bike.
Right.
Highway 12 isn't necessarily the kindest,
Right.
highway, at times. But we have regional parks, state parks. We've got Jack London, Sugarloaf, as you mentioned. We've got wonderful culinary stops, along the way, Palooza and Salt and Stone, to name a couple. And let's face it, the beautiful wineries and vineyards, that are around as well.
Totally.
So we're really trying to capitalize on that, make it kind of an eco-friendly type of journey when you can bring a dog.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of, it brings it all together, like the best of Northern California, in the sense of beautiful scenery, great food.
Yeah.
Right. Later on, you can learn more about the wines, but also, like you said, the eco-friendly, because an e-bike, relatively low footprint. You're just like pedaling, and then you have a little battery pushing you along.
Absolutely.
Which is really nice. And it's not loud, right? I imagine you're just like zipping around kind of quietly down a little
Sometimes you don't even know it's on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, let me ask, Jeremy, were you big into cycling when you were younger, or were you like a competitive cyclist or mountain biker guy?
No. I wish I could say I was an Olympic, cyclist, but that's
Right.
not the case. But it really is something that I grew up doing, but on two wheels, that is, but on motorcycles.
Oh, okay.
So I've been riding motorcycles ever since I was 10.
Like street bikes or like dirt
Both
bikes?
dirt bikes and street bikes.
Really?
Now it's pretty much my Harley,
Yeah.
But
You're not jumping off of earth and
I'm not doing what
anymore.
Steve McQueen did.
No. Yeah. Well, yeah.
But certainly something that I've always loved. In fact, during COVID, when a lot of things were locked down, I mean, that was my sanctuary.
Oh, great.
Getting
Go
out,
for a ride.
getting some bugs in my teeth, going out. and
Squinting along. Yeah, exactly.
So try not to smile too much
Exactly.
when I ride, but.
And then, so what, you still got a Harley at home?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you still riding it?
Absolutely.
When you're not working, I know.
Francesca wouldn't allow me not to ride
No.
it.
What kind of Harleys?
I got a road glide.
Okay.
Road glide. Yeah.
And have you gone to the Harley annual event in Milwaukee before?
Sturgis?
Sturgis is a big one, but they do their birthday party for Harley Davidson. Like, they think every Friday.
Oh, in Milwaukee?
Yeah, Milwaukee.
I have not been to that.
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of really cool places, but I haven't been to that.
I used to work in Milwaukee after college.
Oh,
and,
wow.
They had a big, and we were bartending. That was a great time.
Oh, I bet.
They would all come in, and you just hear like,
Yeah. Harley riders in general are really shy and quiet.
Yeah, it was basically it was a church gathering. I guess. It was just really boring. A lot of punch and lime green jello.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you guys go on these big trips. That's your fun thing. You start this business. Tell me what's been the reaction to people who have taken some of these tours.
I'm pleased to say that we've gotten some very, very positive response overall. I'm getting a little older. I'm not as social savvy as my children are, and a lot of people are.
Yeah.
But, Instagram and TikTok and, a lot of the social media outlets that we've engaged have been really, really supportive.
I mean, you have a good job doing it and great visuals. And it's good that you have a model dog. Enza is all over, but I see other dogs too.
Officer.
Yeah.
She's good looking too.
You just pay her with treats and she's happy. And little pets behind the ear.
Yeah.
No, because it is from a visual standpoint. It's so funny how I see these little videos of the bike going down a pathway in a vineyard, and there's Enza having a great time. And I think sometimes does she have goggles on? Is that her?
We call them doggles.
Oh my
Yeah,
God. I actually say goggles.
And she gives potagraphs. Yeah.
These are
I'm
terrible.
sorry. I'm
do
sorry.
they get better? I hope not. So how do you get your dog to put goggles on?
Enza actually adapted to it rather well.
Okay.
She's just real comfortable, I think, around us. Other dogs, not so much. It's a little bit of trial and error, but we have different sizes, for different.
Real? Oh, you guys have them for other dogs?
Yeah, absolutely.
My dog's one of those kind of reactive, mouthy dogs. Nice dog, but it's like a working kind of farm dog, so it's like super. It wants to do stuff all the time.
Absolutely.
And so I thought, if I try to put goggles on this thing, I mean, if I wrap him in a blanket, he goes crazy and just bounces around. So.
Worst case scenario, Francesca came up with a really good solution,
What's that?
to getting compliancy, and that is a little bag of doggy treats.
Yeah, they love that.
So if they're focusing on those little doggy treats, they kind of let you do whatever you want.
I gotta try that. I'll probably put Gus. I'm putting some doggles on you. Get that in there. Where do people go to your shop? Do you meet them? How does it work if I want to go on a tour, Jeremy?
You bet. So we're located right near the Kenwood Market Plaza.
Oh, okay.
And so it's a pretty central area, and they would reserve their rides.
Also, people ahead of time. So the key is, of course, to reserve ahead of time.
Really
Because
is.
you don't even know if it's so popular, people might be out, the bikes not be available.
100%. Yeah, and we have limited inventory.
Okay.
You know, we're always adding to our fleet.
Yeah, but you're a startup, right? I mean, you guys are new, so this is
we're
great.
brand new. Yeah, we started in really in October, I think.
Really? So you started kind of at the end of our busy season, and you're kind of like, let's get through winter,
right?
And then gear up.
Absolutely.
Be ready.
And fair to say, it wasn't a real popular time, for people to be outside, in the elements.
There you are in January.
Yeah.
Well, but I will say this, even though today was a little cooler, I mean, it's cooler for the rest, for Sonoma, but like if we're in Minnesota right now, right, they'd be playing like having picnics, right? Let's be honest. Because right now outside, it's like 60 degrees, and it was like 34 this morning, a little frost advisory down low, but come on. In the Midwest,
can't complain about the California weather.
So cold. I mean, you're in short.
I like to complain about a lot of things, but I can't complain about California.
It's like when you go to Florida and it's like 75, and like, oh, sorry, it's so cold, and you're like, no, this is fine.
Yeah, it's all right.
But yes, I mean, you could ride year round here. People do all the time.
Yeah,
we do have passing rain showers, of course, but I think when we move into our busier season or high season, which typically runs. Starts off in April and kicks off through October.
Right.
That's when people are here. And you will not, I mean, it's shocking if it rains or anything.
We've been very
May,
fortunate,
June,
haven't
July.
we?
Yeah.
So the reservations really are key, and we've had individuals reach out, same day, and it's just not logistically feasible.
Right. I mean, yeah, because you're going to be out half a day anyway on these things, so you should plan ahead.
Yeah.
So like if they plan like a week ahead, 2 weeks ahead, maybe even is like a couple days still feasible?
Yeah, 24-hour notice, really.
Oh, okay.
So if we have the availability and they haven't already been booked, 24-hour notice, and that way we can, I'm in charge of safety and logistics.
Yeah.
My partner's in charge of marketing, and really the business development side of it. But that gives me an opportunity to.
You're just the face of it, but you're not the brains. Is that what you're saying?
100%.
Good, thank you.
100%.
Good.
Yeah, thank God somebody knows what they're doing.
Thank God somebody knows what they're doing. That's how I feel in this podcast too.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know what's going on, but Bob knows what he's doing. He'll come in and tell me when to stop. So people get the bikes, you drop them off at a location, and then you kind of give people a rough idea on where to go, or how does that work?
We do. I mentioned earlier that we have so many different things that you can see in the Kenwood and Glen Ellen area.
Okay.
All of Sonoma Valley for that matter. But we like to keep things pretty centric to Kenwood for time reasons, time constraints. People can rent either a half day or a full day, and basically that's. A half day is about 3 hours, full day is about 6 hours. Okay. And so we like to curate the routes accordingly. And so we have routes for, the half day rentals. We have routes for the full day rentals. Okay. And, of course, safety is my concern.
Right.
So I want to make sure that I go to these areas and make sure that.
So you've personally tested out all
I have.
Okay.
I have personally stamped with Jeremy's approval. Yeah.
Go here. And so let me ask you that then. Well, half day, people are probably going to get hungry.
Yeah.
So what are some places they could stop and get food?
That's another fun thing about Kenwood in the area is the collaborations, that we're able to form with a lot of the businesses. So they have so many different options. Of course, a lot of the wineries, it's not just about wine.
Yeah.
They offer food.
Like VJB has like pizza and
VJB's
gelato and a deli, right? Yeah. They got a whole
Don't even want to leave,
No, and like the Italian guy with the they have the singers up there on the Sundays. That's supposed to be an accordion.
It's awesome. Yeah. And you eat too much, Tim, and and that's where the e-bike is really helpful.
Exactly.
Because you can just use the,
Don't have to pedal so much.
No, but to your point, it's there's so many different culinary options.
There are.
Casual.
Yeah.
I know the market there in Kenwood, offers just a casual deli.
Yeah, good little sandwiches up there. Palooza's fantastic. Good Mexican restaurants up there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like really informal. You're outside eating really, really good tacos. And then, like you said, you can go back, at night. Like Stella's open for lunch sometimes.
Yeah.
You can get like really great meals at Stella.
Oh, yeah.
And places like that.
We just tried the Star restaurant.
Glen Ellen Star. What'd you think?
Wonderful. Yeah, wonderful. And the service was exceptional.
Yeah,
too.
you did a good job there.
The people are great. So we're really proud of them and their accomplishment in getting a Michelin star. But more importantly, we love the idea of our local, co-patriots in the area being able to experience so many different types of dining.
No, it's a good place up there. Jeremy, you said you did construction. Are you still doing that, or is it like what kind of stuff?
I am. I wish I could fully concentrate just on my beloved e-bike rental tour.
Right. Welcome to tourism, man.
Yeah, right. But no, so I'm a consultant, an engineering and construction consultant, and I've been doing it for about 25 years. Have my own private practice now, and formerly a lot of my emphasis was in telecom. So a lot of the So if you have bad cell service in the Valley of the Moon, it is not my fault. Yeah.
I will tell you, and I've already referenced it a few times, because AT&T, get your act together.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they haven't really invested much post 2017 here, and it's been frustrating.
Well, I'm pleased to say most of the carriers have heard the message, and they're spending billions of dollars this year.
Well, it is kind of funny, because then you're sort of like after that happened and some of the towers got affected, and someone who worked for AT&T and says, you know what, there's not a lot of people up here. It's not like it's the middle of like Oakland, Fremont area where like tons of people. So they were like, look, it's going to be a while. So
I will tell you that all of the carriers have their challenges for sure. But the attention is usually on the San Francisco heavy populated areas.
It makes sense on a per person base. I mean, I totally get it, right? The last mile.
But we can still complain, right, Tim?
That's why I have a podcast. Doesn't that make me an expert on everything? I thought that was the rule.
I think so.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Anyway. Now when you moved up here, so you were doing construction elsewhere, you moved up here. What was the difference when you moved up here from where you lived previously? Like what surprised you? What was new to you?
Yeah, thanks. That's a great question, because moving prior to moving to Kenwood, I was in Pleasanton for a number of years.
Okay.
And Pleasanton is a pretty cool little community
It's in the name, man.
But it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
And when I left back in 2016, 17.
Okay.
And I think I left at about the right time for me.
Okay, right.
And that is, I didn't have to be so close to San Francisco. I didn't have to be so close to where the work was.
Because Pleasanton there's a BART stop on Pleasanton, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very much a commuter integrated part of the Bay Area economy.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
The tech economy. So you're competing housing.
You never know who you're sitting next to.
It's just crazy all the time down there. I mean, I love going down there to visit and stuff like that. Yeah. And that's obviously where a lot of people come up. So your neighbors from Pleasanton should come up and rent a bike.
Absolutely.
And go explore.
Believe me, we've marketed to the entire East Bay thanks to my partner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
She's really good about getting the word out.
Does she have a billboard, or does she like stand on the corner like wave on the Bayshore Freeway?
I would encourage her to do that. She'd probably get a lot of traffic. I'd probably lose my girlfriend. But,
a lot of people sitting in traffic there. You'd be faster on a bike, and you could bring your dog.
No, but she doesn't. And speaking of Francesca, she does an awesome job of just getting the word out there, because a lot of our clientele, they don't come from Kenwood. They don't come from local
from all
towns.
over, right? Yeah.
San Francisco. In fact, most of our customers, I would say, come from other states.
Okay.
Some as far away as New York, some as close as, San Francisco.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the Bay Area, Sacramento, LA are our biggest markets, but that's just because, proximity and number of people. Right. So that makes sense. But we do get people from all over the country and all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, there's growing acceptance among Americans to think about, I'm going to ride a bike. It's not like a kid's thing. It's like a fun adult thing.
It is.
Because you would think like, adults riding bikes, like it's a bunch of Dutch people or something like that, which is maybe. But
it had to start somewhere, Tim.
Yeah. But it's like when you're on vacation, people are willing to do other things and then discover, again, just how fun it is to be out there. And like you said, the Harley, great, but not everyone's got a motorcycle or a motorcycle license.
Right.
Or teeth to catch bugs.
Right. Well, yeah, that's a good
so
point.
There's all those things.
But at least they have long flowing hair.
But to hop on a bike is pretty easy.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you don't need specialized training.
We do market, the company to 18
of course.
18 years and up. Yeah. The reality, though, is, most everybody knows how to ride a bike.
Yeah.
And if you know how to ride a bike, of course, I go through an orientation, with everybody, safety checks and orientation, because we want people to really understand, the functionality, but we also want them to be aware of their surroundings,
Yeah, I mean, it's just because you're out in a beautiful area doesn't mean there might not be other cars or trucks, or, if you're going through a vineyard, there's probably people working in the vineyard.
Right.
So be mindful of those trucks.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. So, all of those things are really part of it. But you kind of brought this up earlier. Nowadays, a lot of our customers, it's about the experience. It's not about, one, visit to a specific restaurant or to the park or whatever the case is. They want to do a few things. And we've collaborated with a couple of the glamping
Oh, really?
places out here in the area.
Well, that's fun.
And what we do, we also trailer our bikes to certain areas.
Oh, okay. So you can go to, like, if people wanted to rent the bikes.
Borrow, but they have to give it back.
And pay money for it.
Yeah.
But if I had a group of people and we were like at a vacation rental or a corporate retreat or someplace, there's the opportunity for them to call you and reserve them, and you'll deliver them.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay. So we offer, discounts, especially this time of year, for that sort of thing.
Totally.
But we can trailer them to a certain area. And again, we don't provide guided services. That's one thing that we did on purpose, because we want people to really experience it at their own pace, kind of do it the way that they want to do it.
Right.
And a lot of these glamping folks that we've collaborated with, we literally bring them, the equipment to use, and then they go off and do their thing.
Just discover.
Have fun,
And you kind of recommend some routes and stuff
Absolutely,
like that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, that's part of it.
Let me ask, because we're in wine country, when you're not riding bikes, what are some of the places you like to go visit, the winery wise, and the experiences that you like?
The specific wineries?
Yeah. What are some that you like?
Well, I love, about 4 or 5 of them, so it's hard to say one.
Okay, touche. I was like, they're not listening.
There you go. No, but the folks at VJB, I've had a relationship with them for a long time. Henry Vittorio, they're just, true Italian hosts, really, really good people.
Real big hospitality.
Really, really hospitable people, yeah. But, wonderful experiences with our friends over at St. Jean.
Oh, yeah.
Peter, he's fantastic. We've developed relationships with the folks over at Kunde.
Okay.
And speaking of Kunde and speaking of the actual tours, Francesca really put a lot of emphasis on the history, that's in Kenwood, the stuff that I didn't even know about.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Kunde, of course, is a big part of that history.
Yeah.
And so that's another aspect of it. We're not history professors, but
Right.
It's really kind of nice to be able to share things that people may not have even known about the Kenwood, Glen Ellen area. Like the fact that it was a big giant marsh, for a long time. I didn't even know that.
Creek probably came down, and
I'm not even sure about that.
That actually makes sense, because parts of it, you can see the drainage like from the mountains that's there, and I can tell because it's kind of a saddle. So when you're driving a little bit and then it goes up again, I could see that was, they probably put in drainage.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's construction.
No wonder we have very successful growing.
Yeah. I mean,
crops
I had Steve Ledson on a while ago, and he was talking about how they had, farming up there and horses and all sorts of stuff, but the land was cleared for different agricultural uses prior to a lot of wineries. I mean, wine was always been there, but there were also a lot of crops. I mean, there's a guy that does the walnuts up there.
Yeah, that's right.
Which you can buy
at
the end of that road.
Well, the walnuts used to be a big part of the economy in the Kenwood, Sonoma area also, But yeah, it's really fascinating. In fact, the property that I'm at is it was built originally by the Moroni brothers back in the 1880s. And their claim to fame was they came from Italy to work on a lot of the wineries. With the salt stone, that we see a lot.
Yeah, that's the quarries were a big part here.
Yeah.
The hill behind downtown Sonoma.
Right.
Is where they quarried a lot of the rocks for North Bay, but also for San Francisco and Oakland and that.
Worked on the old train depot.
And there was a train that would come right up here.
That's
actually
right.
Out through Kenwood. There's the train depot's right there by that park.
Yep.
Which is kind of odd when you're sitting there and you're like, that looks like a train station.
And sure enough.
No, that was a train station.
It's just been closed for 100 years.
Yeah. And there used to be trains that would come up. Both excursion trains for vacationers,
right?
But also people getting their products down to the market.
Yeah, we'd like to think that we were the original tourism, company of Kenwood, but that's just not true.
Yeah, when people are always like, I don't know, tourism's a thing in Sonoma. I'm like, yeah, it's only been going on for like 14 decades. I mean, maybe it'll catch on. I don't know. But you're like, the Springs is named for a reason because there were like resorts there.
That's right.
And then people would go up in the hills above Kenwood and Glen Ellen and all sorts of resorts and stuff up there too.
It's true, yeah.
That's the way it was. Jimmy, when you're not riding your bike, what are you doing for fun?
I love everything outdoors. Fly fishing.
Oh, really?
Camping. A lot of the Montana related.
Yeah, it seems like that's the law in Montana,
inherited.
right?
Right.
Have you been over to? There's a winery called Caddis Winery. Chris Sorensen, he's on the plaza. Big fly fishing guy. I've been trying to get him to do. Yeah, exactly. Because not many people know that, and I'm like, you got to do. Fly fishing. It can be for some people. I've never actually done it, but I'm sure it feels like kind of like hard and intimidating. But I've done a couple of those fun things where you learn how to do it in a park.
Yeah.
And it's actually really fun.
You know, believe it or not, some people do it to relax.
No, I could see that as a meditation. No, I seriously could.
But I actually grew up with a wonderful guide. In fact, my
really?
grandfather, my grandfather was super accomplished. He was an Olympic athlete,
Oh,
high jump world record holder.
oh wow.
But one of the things that I appreciate probably the most about him and his accomplishments is the fact that he was an avid fly fisher and kind of a scholar of fly fishing.
Okay.
And he was one of the original advisors to, do you remember that old movie with Brad Pitt called A River Runs Through It?
I was going to reference it, but I didn't know.
all right.
Yeah, okay.
So he actually showed Brad Pitt and who's the other fellow? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Don't look it up. Yep.
Anyway,
Right.
he showed them the correct way to cast.
To actually get that motion and stuff like that.
Yeah, so
And,
Tom Skerritt. That's who I was thinking of, Tom
Look
Skerritt.
at you. You're like an IMDb walking around, Internet
I
Movie
wouldn't have-
Database guy.
I would have lost a bet with that one, I tell you.
What did we do before phones for bar bets, right?
Right.
You just got really angry. That's not who won the World Series.
I guess so. I don't.
We don't have as much fly fishing in Sonoma right now.
No.
Russian River has a little bit, but I hear Montana and that area is just famous for it.
Yeah, it's great.
it
And
mainly
believe it or
trout?
not, there's a lot of wonderful places here in Northern California.
Up north, right?
Yeah, certainly,
That's
yeah.
what I hear. All right, so you like fly fishing and hunting and sort of like outdoor kind of life.
Yeah, the hunting piece, I've kind of toned it down
Yeah.
a little bit, so I don't do so much of that anymore. But, traveling, Francesca and I both love traveling.
Okay.
We've had the opportunities to be, to have visited, quite a few different places and countries and that sort of thing.
That's good.
But you know what?
Sounds like Francesca kind of tamed you a little bit. I'm going to be honest.
I think she may have. you
Yeah,
know. I
she's
used to
sort
have a
of-
blue mohawk, and now I'm just normal.
You were always in the duck blind. And you're like, no. Wash off that muck.
That's right. Tim, you nailed it.
That's what's there. I bring up the duck blind because my neighbor, it was Valentine's Day a while ago, and I saw him in the grocery store panic shopping for like roses and stuff in his full duck hunting outfit.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, Ben, I can't believe you forgot.
Hey,
like he had been out, and I could tell he like, oh crap.
Hey, I'm no fashion expert. I call it maybe more function, less fashion.
Yeah, hey, that's very Sonoma though. Yeah, that's like you can never go wrong in Sonoma with a good pair of Carhartts, right?
That's a
You can
fact.
totally do it. This has been wonderful, Jeremy. You're very knowledgeable. You know a lot of stuff. I'm glad
thanks,
you didn't. You took the bugs out of your teeth. You're a classy guy. Before we're gonna get on to the next segment, we're gonna answer questions.
Oh,
But,
okay.
but before we do that, I'm sure our listeners already want to know how to book a tour and find more information. So, do you guys have a website?
We certainly do, yeah. If you go to vineandvistatours.com, you'll find us there.
Okay.
We also, on our bikes, we have, the codes that people can,
A little QR code.
QR codes, and hopefully they're big enough for people when they're driving by without getting in a wreck.
Right, exactly.
To
Kind of
take
good.
a picture.
Or if I'm getting a sandwich in the bikes there, I can totally get it.
Yeah, and that's the intent is, to advertise, while we're having fun.
Yeah, I like that.
And so I think generally speaking, it's pretty easy. Just kind of follow the instructions, like most websites.
Kind of learn how to book one.
Right.
Yeah, and that's Vine singular, vineandvistatours.com.
Yep.
Or people I'm sure could call you at 707-234-5551.
Yep.
Okay. And they can
us.
operaters are standing by, which I think
well,
is
that's right.
Francesca and you.
We promise it won't be an Indian call center.
It's just going to be you. It's just going to be you sitting there.
That's right.
There getting it. All right, and that's e-bike rentals with Vine and Vista Tours up in Kenwood and Glen Ellen. And I should say, I would be remiss to say, we also, if you're not a bike rider, there are other options in Sonoma Valley. Like I mentioned at the intro, there are people who do like the VW buses with West Wine Tours.
Yeah, really cool.
There's if you have some mobility issues, Pushpak offers little scooters. But if you're like super adventurous and you want to jump on a redwood for some crazy reason on a rope, we have canopy tours out in the West Sonoma County.
I've done it 10 times.
You have? What do you
10
think about
times.
it?
Every single time I've gone over the years, they're obviously making money, which is good.
Yeah.
Because it gets more and more advanced and more and more.
They
But
keep adding stuff over there.
Now you can stay the night up in a tree.
Yeah.
They've
What's
got-
up with that?
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but you can't put a bike up there.
No, you can't.
Not yet.
So we'll work out some collaborations with Sonoma Canopy Tours, hopefully.
I love, the canopy tours. When they first started this, years ago, I was working at Sonoma County Tourism, and they came on like, we're going to do zip lines in the redwoods. I'm like, okay, they had like 4 or 5 of them.
Right.
And now you're right. It's like an Ewok village up there. It's
They've
like
got
seriously.
Ewok Village is a good way to put it.
Seriously, second Star Wars.
They have night tours now too, I guess. It's really cool.
That
really
does sound like fun. And then if you don't want to go zipping on a zip line, there's a trolley, right? So
yeah.
what I love about Sonoma Valley in this area of the county is that there's different options for different types of people. But what I love about your tour is, like I said, bikes, they're fun. You got the dog. You're out there in the vineyards.
Kind of look cool doing it.
You kind of look cool doing it. Come on, the hair.
You know, I'm a Harley guy.
You look great. And I should also say, for people who aren't, you go onto their website, because the bikes are sort of Harley inspired looking. They have like what looks like the teardrop fuel tank right there.
I would say I had a little bit to do with
Did you? Did you retrofit these somehow?
So no, we weren't involved with the design. We actually we collaborated with the company that actually manufactures those, called Mod Bikes.
Okay, MOD.
Okay. MOD, and we're one of their distributors up here too. So if somebody really likes the bike and wants to get it,
gonna try it, you can buy it.
That's right, and we can help them with a pretty hefty discount on.
I love that. Mod Bikes, and they look. I mean, they even have the kind of handlebars a little bit higher up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they super look like fun and comfy, and they look better with a dog though.
That's what I think too, especially if I'm riding.
Yeah,
that way they can put all their attention on.
Well, and also, Enza. I mean, again, those of you watching, Jeremy's a good-looking guy, but Enza,
she's pretty hot.
Dog.
She's pretty hot.
That's the way it is.
Kind of weird to say that about my own daughter, right?
Well, yeah, your fur daughter.
She's my fur baby.
Your fur daughter. All right, here we go. Jeremy, you've told us about riding your bikes around. It's been wonderful, and your experience getting to Vine and Vista tours. However, you can't leave without answering some visitor questions.
Oh boy.
So here we go. We have 2 visitor centers. People call us, they text us, they slide into our DMs, and you can text us, 707-996-1090. They email us, info@sonomavalley.com. They get a piece of paper, they write a question down, they wrap it up in another piece of paper, they put a stamp on it, and a government employee delivers it to us. They can ask us all sorts of questions via the mail. You're going to help us in a segment we call We Get Questions.
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
This one actually came up today, and it's perfect for you. Like, I was amazed when it came up. I was on the Facebook group. It's called Sonoma Trip Planning page. It's kind of fun. People put their questions up there. And literally today it came up. And it's calling all local bike enthusiasts. My husband and I will be staying in the city of Sonoma this summer, and we'll have our own e-bikes. We are hoping to tour wineries on our bikes. I see they have guided bike tours, but we're hoping to self-guide and see where the day takes us. But based on a quick Google search, I found some wineries that appear to be within biking distance, but would like local input as to whether or not these are feasible and safely accessible. Some that we're looking at include Vianza or Jacuzzi or Gloria Ferrer, Larson, Three Fat Guys, Sebastiani, Gundlach Bunshu, Scribe, and San Giacomo. Any insights appreciated? Thank you.
Well, you bet. So most of those wineries I've actually visited, not necessarily on a bike, an e-bike.
I put an asterisk next to some of those, okay? I just want to be clear.
And we do want to, emphasize that, again, they're self-guided. So you go where you want to go. We want you to be safe. We want you to have a good time.
Right.
But we also encourage people to follow the law. When it comes to drinking and riding, drinking and driving, we just want people to be very mindful of that.
That's a good insight.
But you can't, I'd be remiss to not answer your question, one, but, when it comes to wineries around here, they're just awesome. And everybody has their own unique,
one they want to go check out.
Exactly, yeah. Right. So I would suggest, definitely for those that aren't familiar with the area, to really look at the width of the bike lanes, because they vary.
100%.
Yeah, there's areas that are just really, really well equipped for bike riders, especially with a sidecar, right? But then it'll squeeze on down into just a really narrow nothing.
I'm so glad they asked this, because
that's a great question.
Not all of these, I would not recommend riding your bike to all of these. Like if you came into my visitor center and said, I want to go to that one, especially ones that are too far south of the town of Sonoma or too far north of the town of Sonoma on certain parts, right?
Absolutely.
So the ones that I can say in the city, if they're living in the or staying in the city, Bartholomew Estate, Buena Vista, any around the plaza, a lot of those are bikeable.
Oh, yeah.
We have routes in our visitor center that if you're there, and then like I said, the plaza has like 20 tasting rooms.
Oh yeah.
Sebastiani, of course.
Steve has the hotel, Ledson.
Yeah, Ledson, Gundlach Bunshu, Scribe. Those are on the bikeable, and it really depends on the level of experience and comfort some people have. You ride your bike a lot.
Yep.
You might be a little more confident, but if you're just doing it on vacation, maybe just going on the plaza or the Sonoma bike path.
Absolutely.
Up there. That's if you're down in Sonoma.
Yep.
My other recommendation, call the people up in Kenwood and they'll tell you what you can do up in Kenwood. And that's vineandvistatours.com, because they seem, if you listen to the previous 40 minutes, they seem to have a handle on what's going on. But yeah, so that really came up today, and I was kind of laughing.
Yeah, it's perfect. Real timely. Yeah, like I said, we've gone through, curated these routes.
Yeah.
And we don't curate them just for one specific thing, like visiting wineries, visiting restaurants, the parks, everything inclusive, getting there,
Right.
Is beautiful, but you also have to be considerate, of everything around you.
And some of these are on state highways.
Yeah.
So, and some of the state highways are in town, but some are actually out in the country, and they were built for trucks. So you got to be careful.
No bike lanes.
No bike lanes. So rely on the local experts is my tip here.
That's
totally it there. So,
great
okay,
advice.
Next question. My bosses are coming in from out of state. It's the first time I'm meeting them, and I'd love to gift them something from Sonoma County food-wise, right? But I'm stumped on ideas. It's got to be something that could travel well. Any ideas?
Well, first of all, if their bosses are coming to town, should they be concerned about their job? No, did I say that out loud? I did.
We want to meet you in person.
No.
Like, that'd be a good gift.
In all seriousness, though, again, it's a wonderful place to host, visitors of all types. You've got the casual, you've got the fine dining.
Yeah.
I think, to answer your question, recommending a restaurant versus bringing the food on.
Oh, I think it was actually a gift that they could take home of food that's from here.
Oh, I see.
Like something we make food-wise, or grow, or produce, or.
I guess I'm not so much the expert on what they could take back with them.
Okay.
Usually the gifts, that I've given those in the professional industry, it was wine.
And wine is an acceptable gift because we actually make a lot of it here.
That's right.
And we have bottles; they can ship it home. We also have wine shippers, like little bubble bag thing that you zap up and you can put in your luggage.
One thing I did, just as a side note, Kenwood Winery. They do a really, really nice job. I bought something that they had put together, and a lot of the different wineries have their own versions of it. But bottles of a few of their different blends and different wine, and then they have what kind of a barbecue recipes and stuff.
That's perfect.
And it's awesome. It was well received.
Actually, you have a great point there. Is that a lot of these wineries have complementary things to wine. So maybe you don't know if people like wine. They should, but if they don't, they also have like barbecuing stuff, recipe cards, all sorts of neat stuff. But they also have like mustards. I was thinking olive oil. We have some wineries here that make olive oil. And of course, the olive press down at Jacuzzi. And olive oil is great. You can cook with it. You'll learn more about how to taste it. There's definitely olive trees up in the Kenwood area. So there's a lot of food. There's jams. What I would say is go to one of the Friday farmers markets or the Tuesday night market, and you'll find people who make local things.
Absolutely. Some great experiences. Not necessarily local, as far as Kenwood and whatnot, but we've gone up to like Cloverdale, for example, and they do a really, really nice job of farmers markets.
It's a good stuff up there.
Oh, yeah.
It gets a little warm in the summer as you go north in that valley there, but I like Cloverdale.
It can.
It's pretty up there. I had another thought. Shauna Davis is a local chef. I've mentioned her before only because I want the recipe. She makes this orange marmalade that goes on top of her soft cheese that she makes. It's so good. She will not give me the recipe. Which is smart. It is so.
You are on a radio broadcast station, Tim.
I keep inviting her back. Like, we do a little tasting of the marmalade. But you find one of those kind of producers, and you probably go to like Sonoma Market, Glen Ellen Market, Kenwood Market. Yeah. Some of those places will have little locally made products there too.
Right.
So.
Well, I need to plug this real quick. So, Francesca, my partner, is just. I think it's the Italian roots, to be honest, but she is just a wonderful cook.
Really?
And very creative when it comes to all things culinary.
Really?
So one of the things that we did also with Vine and Vista, not to separate, or confuse the audience, but we started a Vine and Vista Living. And so it's a brand that we created specific to Kenwood.
Okay.
And we actually produce charcuterie boards, dog feeding stations. Yeah, I mean, why not?
I mean,
we have
as you do.
As we do. And they've been well received as well.
Really?
In fact, we're stocking. We've worked a collaboration with Locust, I think is the name of her, Yeah, the folks that run Swedes Feeds.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So
she-
people don't have to book a tour to get access to this other thing.
Absolutely not.
You said charcuterie boards?
Yeah, charcuterie boards and whatnot.
I just
So anyway,
learned-
it's nice gifts. I don't mean
No,
to deviate.
I was supposed to make a charcuterie board for a party the other day.
Well, I think you're talking to the right.
I know because I messed up because I learned there's like this 3-3-3. There's some sort of like pattern you're supposed to do or whatever. I just put a bunch of cheese down because I just like cheese, and then I kept the prosciutto at home so I could eat.
I'm in construction, Tim.
Yeah.
All right, so 333 is that doesn't mean
I
much
don't
to me.
know. I know it was like 3 meats and 3 cheeses, and I'm like, and then like a dog feeding station here. And
Oh, yeah.
I've got a mysterious
But anyway,
person off camera showing me photos
I think I know her.
who's shy from
I know her.
microphones. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
she's awfully, but she's got opinions.
she says she's shy.
Oh, that looks nice. So, and there's even like a whole like food spreads this
Yeah.
mystery person does.
So anyway, if your bosses are coming to town,
Okay.
my long-winded way of getting back.
Can they order that through vineandvistatours2.com? You can sit in the
So we've got a separate website for that, vineandvistaliving.com.
living. I'm starting to see a little theme about vines and views. Is that
You know what? It's I'm really lazy when it comes to new logo design. So
totally like, well, I have these 2 V's. So
I might as well make it
let's see
happen.
what we can do.
But that's what's so cool about this area, though.
Yeah.
Is you have so many different options, and
Right.
if you have people coming to town,
Yeah.
you can either give them a really memorable experience, or you can send them on their way with some really cool
I
stuff
like
from
that.
Sonoma
I
Valley.
like it. Good job. Well, that actually kind of plays into a third question we got.
Oh wow!
Look at that.
I didn't even have any preview of what
Look
you
at
were
that.
going to ask me.
I know. People freak out about this. They're like, I'm like, these are very simple. You can just ask me for help, right? You just come on. All right. So this person said, we're bringing in a very high-end group for a corporate event.
Okay.
And would like to find places that offer buyouts for a meal. Got any ideas?
Absolutely. I mean, quite a few of the I'm always circling back to the wineries because it's hard not to.
Do it.
But they offer corporate events.
Yeah,
and a lot of folks, in fact, some of my fellow members of the Kenwood Business Association, offer event places for weddings. For corporate retreats.
Oh, there's a place that the Kenwood Ranch. No, what's it called?
Indian Springs.
Yeah, is that the
one
ranch?
spot,
Is that the
yeah.
What's the ranch across the street by?
Oh yeah, Kenwood Ranch.
Kenwood Ranch. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and that's a venue both for weddings and corporate events and whatever there. So
And a lot of the wineries I know, and just talking to them and getting to know these folks, they can completely cater and host.
totally. Like Kunde's got a cave,
Yeah.
so you can do a whole thing there.
I mean,
Benziger
it's
has a
super cool.
cave.
Yeah.
If you're looking at a restaurant, places like the Fairmont has Sante.
Right.
You can do, restaurants, of course, are already set up for, restaurants. So the hotels are there. Sante is a very nice high-end restaurant at the
Absolutely.
Fairmont Sonoma Mission and Spa. If you want a Michelin 2-star experience, Enclos, Enclos,
Very, very good restaurant.
really good here in the town of Sonoma, in an unassuming house just off the plaza, like right by Caddis from
Be
Chris.
surprised
Yeah,
what
you
you
walk
get,
right down
yeah.
there. You can do a group there or a buyout of the whole thing. It's very small though, right?
Yeah.
So, but we do have a lot of these places that provide the chance if you have whether it's a corporate group or a wedding or just a special, event.
Absolutely.
You can do that.
Let's not forget Jack London.
Oh yeah,
Right? Because Jack London, they put on some really, really incredible events,
Yeah.
musical events.
absolutely. Up there, the Jack London Saloon in Glen Ellen.
Well, that's kind of, I hate to say watering hole, Tim.
Oh, is it?
But yeah,
I think it's a refined place for neighborhood folks to gather.
I think I'm going to use that.
Thank you.
I'm going to use
I
that.
say that. And also, hey, Le Pascal is down the street. So if you want
doesn't
really
hurt.
good, those pastries are fantastic.
Are you kidding me?
How do they make that meringue? Yeah, how do
they?
they make that stuff? I mean,
They're French.
It's magic. I know they're French.
They're French.
Never mind.
I love going in there and just ordering something and hearing them, banter
wait,
back and forth in
bonjour.
French.
Yeah.
You don't know if they're saying something, rude
Here
or
comes the
something
crazy
nice.
bike guy. That's what she says. It's like, I wish you
They're
brought
really
the dog.
friendly.
The dog is so much better. Jeremy answered all the questions correctly.
Oh, phew.
You get an
Goodness.
A. Wasn't that hard?
I get paid for something now?
No, not at all.
Oh, no.
I said you're a volunteer at the visitor center. I didn't say you're paid.
I understand.
So you're not, definitely not. The payment is the fact that we've had so much time together.
And time with you is like getting paid. Yeah, it really is.
I thought you said time with you. Like, I better get paid. Jeremy, it's been great having you. Before we say goodbye, can you give me one more time the website for people to book a Vine and Vista e-bike tour?
Yeah, thank you. Vineandvistatours.com.
Okay.
And, bring your fur baby or not.
Yeah.
We offer lots of different options for people. If you're looking for an adventure, hopefully we'll be providing that for you.
I love it. Well, Jeremy, thanks for coming on. It's always good to see you.
Good to see you,
And
Tim.
after you've gone to vineandvistatours.com, don't forget to go to sonomavalley.com. We are in the middle of Sonoma Sips, $15 wine tastings at more than 50 wineries through March 15th. Definitely a good thing to check it out. Mom and Dad, thanks for listening. Everyone else, have a wonderful week. Mom and Dad, have a wonderful week too. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.